Hello. Okay, you can't blame me. It's only been a month. Hello everyone, it's Noelle. Welcome back to the channel. I am going to do some makeup today, and I'm going to be talking about how I'm slowly trying to fall back in love with doing makeup, my makeup collection. It's a lot. I am also going to just wear glasses today. They are also disgusting, so... So anyway, I have been having trouble wanting to wear my makeup, wanting to just have anything to do with makeup, and seeing as I have a lot in my collection, I know it's something that I need to tackle, and I can't just throw it away. In my head, I can't just, that's so wasteful. I can't throw it away. There's nobody in my life that will be able to take this makeup, seeing as I'm in another country and I haven't made any friends in the last 5 years. That's sad. What I can do is try to make it a little bit more fun. So what I did recently is I jumped on to an app that I have that I use for my art channel, which is Noelle's Nook, by the way, just a little plug. I'll always have it linked down in the description below. But I decided to use a roulette app, and basically I put in all of the colors that I would like to put into like a makeup look. I think I even named the roulette wheel pop of colors. So what I wanted to do to challenge myself to wear makeup and just make it more fun in general was spin the roulette wheel, and then whatever color it lands on is the color of makeup that I'll do for that look that day. And there's no like rules or anything. As long as I add the pop of color somewhere in my look, that's all that matters. It could just be a lip, it could be just one eyeshadow in the eye look. It doesn't really matter. I just wanted a way to not only use my entire collection in a fun way, but just use my collection in general. So I actually started this little challenge like 2 weeks ago. Last week I wasn't feeling any sort of way. I don't know, last week was weird. I think it was because the sun wasn't shining like at all last week, and I couldn't handle it. I couldn't deal with it. But the week before, the week of Valentine's Day, I went really hard with it, and I really enjoyed it. I think my first day was like olive or green. My next day was yellow, and then I think I skipped Wednesday because I wasn't feeling it. And then Thursday, I think I did like a pink look, and then I don't think I wore makeup on Friday. I've also been falling in love with tracking my stuff again, but only in Notion. So what I would do is set aside all the makeup that I use during my look and then pop it over into my Notion lookbook, which you can buy, by the way, if you want to. You don't have to, but you can buy it. I have it on my Ko-fi page. I'll link that down below too. So that's been really fun as well. So anyway, instead of just talking and talking and talking, why don't we actually put some makeup on? So my husband, we were at Primark a couple of weeks ago, probably last month, and we bought a new mirror for me. So I'm really enjoying this mirror. I don't really care for the light function. It doesn't really light up that well or brightly, but it also could be that the batteries that I'm using are like crap. So I'm just taking my e.l.f. oil control primer, and she's almost done, which I'm really excited about because I will not be purchasing this ever again. And I'm just popping this on. My current skincare right now that I currently have on my face is the Up Circle face cream and face serum, which I think is their face oil. I've been really enjoying using those as my skincare. I have been more diligently using my facial smoothies, which are right here. Give me a second, I'll show you. These things, these bad boys. The package is a little gross because it's sticky, but this package here, I've been using it on my frowny lines and then also across my forehead, and I've been thinking it's been making a slight difference. Okay, the only other concern that I have is this patch here of hyperpigmentation that I have on my cheek. I wish it would go away. It appeared last fall, but you know, it's on my face, so it might be there to stay. So I just pop these over here to the side, and then I'll put them on my Notion planner. That way I just kind of know, you know, it gives me an idea of what I have been using and what I haven't been using, what I enjoy using. Also, you know, what has looked good on my face that day. This is the e.l.f. Mineral Eyeshadow Primer in the color Sheer. Just gonna put that on my lids, and it's so hard to see because I'm not wearing contacts. So how has everybody been? How was your Valentine's Day? How was your February? I feel like my February flew really fast. Like really, really fast. Oh my gosh. I talked about it a little bit more on my art channel, but if you don't watch my art channel, which fair, in the last, what was it? Last month. The last half of the month of January, Ireland and the UK had Storm Eowyn. And here, let me get this out of the shot a little bit. And oh my word, we lost power. I think it was on the 24th of January. She rolled in, and at 7 o'clock in the morning that Friday, we lost power. And we didn't get it back for 6 whole days. And it was long. It was a very long 6 days. And of course, it's like January, so, you know, we're still in the middle of winter, so it's freezing. It's so cold. And then, so we didn't have, like, you know, heating. And also it's dark out sooner. So my husband would come home to a dark house, a dark, cold house, and it was like just really, it was really upsetting. But we made do. We had some candlelit dinners and some things like that. And luckily my husband's MacBook had a couple of like movies on it, so we just watched what we could, you know, to pass the time. But like once all those movies and entertainment were like used up, we didn't really have much else to do. So yeah, it was just very long. And then we didn't have Wi-Fi for another 6 days after that. So it was hard. It was very hard. Couldn't do anything, obviously. Couldn't run my art business. I couldn't run this. Couldn't watch YouTube, upload YouTube, film. Couldn't do anything. But what I ended up doing was I read some books. I went to my local library. I got some books. Utilized them a lot. So it wasn't all bad. It was just a little bit boring. But definitely look into your local library if you haven't. Like I never went to my libraries much when I lived back home. There was just kind of no need for me to at the time, I guess. But now that I live in Northern Ireland, the library system here is fantastic. They're free. You can go to the library, you know, check out a book. And like I know that's libraries mostly, but I've never used the library system before. So I just thought it was incredible. And the other things they do too are you also get access to an online library. So you can download audiobooks and ebooks. Sorry, I'm still looking for a job. Is this a good email? Nope. Well, it is a good email. I'm gonna turn my phone down. I ordered a bunch of things for my small business because one of the things, and depending on when this video comes out compared to my studio vlog, well, I don't know which one's gonna come out when. My studio vlogs usually come out on Mondays, but I'm thinking of doing press-on nails. I have a lot of nail polishes to use. I'm artsy. I don't really know what I'm doing, but at the same time, you know, sometimes you just have to jump in. So the idea for the color that I had today, I did spin my wheel like last week because I was trying to do this challenge. This is the e.l.f. Lip Plumper and Primer. I'm using the plump side, which is just about out. I'm going to do burgundy today as my pop of color. So I do have some burgundy items in front of me. I'm going to do a mostly just basic eyeshadow look, and then I've got the Sky High, Maybelline Sky High Burgundy Haze mascara. I've also got some AOA Studio Wonder Metal liquid lipstick in the color Digital. Pretty nice, pretty nice. And so for my cheeks, I have the Amuse Lip and Cheek Stick. I could technically use this on my lips, but I'm going to be using the AOA Studio stuff. I just want to see if there's any sort of indication of a color on here. It doesn't look like there is. I wonder if there was on the the packaging that was on it, the plastic wrap, but it's not here. But I have two of these. This is the color I'm using today, and the color that I have as well is this sort of tea rose color. So this is the color I'm using today, but this is the color I would normally use. I call it tea rose, but it's like a sort of browny, pink, dusty rose, you know, sort of thing. Tea rose. I like tea rose. But I'm using this one today. It smells good, by the way. It kind of has like a sort of vanilla-y scent. So starting off the face, I have been liking doing my face makeup first, which is unheard of for me, I know. But I've been using my Revolution Matte Base Corrector Kit. She's looking a little rough, but I am starting to dip a lot into this pan. So I'm going to dip into the green color here, and I have been enjoying using this with my fingers instead of a brush. I feel like the coverage is a little bit better. I think it melts into my skin better. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this wherever I have redness. I am also going to just be really kind to myself and not record every step of my makeup, because editing these videos takes a lot longer than it does my art channel. For the inner corner and basically the eye bag area, I'm going to go into the salmon color. They call it Balance. The green color is called Anti-Redness, which makes sense. So just dipping again right in here. And I'm going to put that into the areas where I have more blue, but definitely the inner corners here. And now when I go in the inner corners, I really try to zhuzh that in there and spread, because I used to use a brush with this product and I just felt like the texture was not great. I feel like using my fingers just helps the product melt a little bit more into my skin. It's not a seamless blend or anything by any means, but it's definitely a lot better than using the brush. Now I'm going to go into the purple shade, which is Brighten. And I'm going to put that on areas where I have some yellowness, so usually around my mouth. And the only reason I'm using this palette at all is because I'm trying to get rid of it. And then I don't think I'm ever going to really use color correcting as a step in my future makeup looks, because I just don't feel like it's something that's required. You know, if you get a good foundation that's full coverage or medium coverage, or just, you know, sometimes I just like my skin to look like skin. See how red my lips are because of that plumper? Oh my gosh. I might even put some of that purple on my forehead. There's a pink color here, but I'm never really sure where to put it. It says Brighten, so what could I brighten? My whole face. That's probably good enough. Now, my usual makeup brushes are being cleaned. Well, they probably are dry at this point. I think I did feel them this morning and they felt kind of dry. But I did pull out my makeup brushes from my gym bag. So we're just going to use those today, because these could also use a wash, I'm noticing. So whatever's in here is just what I'm going to use today. A little bit of a challenge for myself. So the other thing I'm going to use is my e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and I don't have my serum. Let me go get that real quick, because it's literally the only way I like to use this product. I have my Superdrug Hyaluronic Booster, and I just like to take my Camo Concealer, stick a little bit on the back of my hand, the tiniest amount, a drop of this, a nice dense brush. This is the AOA Studio E109 High Def brush. Just kind of dab everything together here. Alright, and then we just stick it on the places we want our coverage. So for me, it's the inner corners, because that's where I have the most, not darkness really, but I'm noticing that I'm having a lot more purple. There's a lot more purple showing through, a lot more blue showing through. Kind of just want to cover that up a little bit. Do I need to? Not really. And before it really dries down, I just take my beauty blender and pat it in. Coverage, but not too heavy. And then whatever's left on the brush, just put it wherever. So, chin, forehead, why not? But I don't think concealer is a step that I need to take, or like I'm still trying to decide, is concealer a step that I want in my regular routine? Because I just cannot be bothered most of the time to really care about reaching for a concealer. Alright, I think I'm just gonna pat my entire face just to kind of smooth everything out. And then I gotta really look in the mirror here and see what's going on, because I can't see nothing. I'm getting a little bit of texture, and I think that's just because of the brush application. I mean, my face doesn't look too bad right now. It looks fine. Something I really want to try once all of my foundations and concealers are done, I want to go to skin tints, I think, because your girl cannot be bothered with much of anything, really. So, okay, something interesting. Not really, but for me it's interesting. I have been trying to get rid of this because I hate it. It's not a good skin match. But also get rid of this because I hate it. It's too matte. It makes my face look a certain kind of way. I've been combining the two. It evens out a little bit. The formulas like kind of actually work pretty well with each other, interestingly enough. The thing is, I don't have a brush. Well, I do have a brush, but it's been a while. But let's try it. It's in my other makeup brush thing. Okay. The last time I can really remember using, oh, well, I could use that brush too. I was thinking of using the foundation brush, the spatula sort of looking brush, but maybe I'll use the stipple brush since it's been a hot minute. But oh my gosh, the last time I used this, I think I was going to my cousin's wedding in like 2011, and I did not apply it very well, and you could just see my pores. Like it looked like I wore a mask. I didn't blend it out at all. It was so bad. And like I said, I was at a wedding, and also what made it awkward too, being there, was that oh gosh, that whole day was just awkward for me. Like it was a good day, it was a good wedding, and I took pictures, but like when I look back on it and I think back on it, I'm like, man, that was a really weird day for me, because one, I wasn't prepared to go to the wedding. I actually didn't realize I was going to a wedding that day, so I didn't really have anything to wear. I was also with my ex at the time. He wasn't invited to the wedding. So that was awkward. So I went by myself because my mom called me on the phone and she's like, hey, so-and-so's wedding's today. Are you coming? And I was like, well... So I was sitting on the couch at the apartment, and I, asked my ex, I said, hey, do you want to go to a wedding? My family didn't like my ex, and for good reason. But my mom was like, he's not invited. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went by myself. I took my camera and everything. I got ready. And I remember I shook the bride's hand with the wrong hand. I shook his hand with my left hand. And he was trying to reach with my right. And so we had like this awkward, it was such an awkward day. But, I just remember looking at my complexion in the bathroom at some point during the evening and just seeing how bad my foundation looked. So hopefully not a bad foundation look today. But I just combined these two. I would normally use my more dense foundation brush, but like I said, my brushes are being dried right now since I did give them a good clean. How do you guys clean your makeup brushes? I clean my brushes by, I have like a mat, like a makeup brush mat, and I stick it in the bottom of the sink. And what I do is I scrub my brushes into some soap, and then I scrub my brushes into that makeup mat. And that gets them clean. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I've had no issue with that technique whatsoever. I remember I used to use a stipple brush a lot. Because I think I saw Michelle Phan. Is it Phan or Fawn? I think it's Michelle Phan. I used to see her use a stipple brush a lot. And I was like, ooh, a stipple brush. So e.l.f. has one. It's the e.l.f. stipple brush. They also have a mini stipple brush that I think I got for free, like as an extra gift or something with purchase. This was like years ago. But I remember the stipple brush was like a big deal at the time. It was like the one way that you were going to put your makeup on in like 2012 or something like that, 2012, 2013. It's not bad. Now, like I said, I'm using two different kinds of foundation here, and they're very different formulas, but evens out. This evens out this, and somewhat vice versa. It's not super matte. Is it a great foundation look? Absolutely not. Can you really tell on camera? Not really. So I don't really mind because I'm getting use out of both products, and eventually I'll make my way over to my L'Oreal True Match. I think it's True Match. I'm a little bit worried about it though because I noticed it was like separating slightly, and I'm like, oh no. But I do use that for special occasions too. Like when we go out and stuff, that's the one that I use because I like how it wears. It looks fine. The complexion is fine. It definitely looks like I'm wearing something on my face though, but like I said, it's for the camera. I'm just gonna take whatever's left on this brush and just bring it down and around and maybe on the décolletage. Because even though I've never had like much sun exposure growing up, well, I say that, but I used to wear sunscreen when I went out to sunbathe. I would wear like SPF 15 or 30 when I used to tan as a teenager growing up on the deck. I miss those days. I used to come home from school at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had about an hour before one of my parents came home that I could lay on the deck and get a little suntan action going on. So I used to do that a lot. And what I would do was I would get a manga, usually this one. If you know, you know. And I would just read for an hour, or I would read the entire manga because reading manga doesn't take very long at all. And I would flip. And I would do that. And it was fun. I loved it. But like I said, I did wear, you know, pretty decent SPF. Gosh, do I just want to do the whole face, or do I just want to jump into eyes and then do complexion later? I think I want to jump into eyes first, and then I'll do the color on my face then. So, for eyes, y'all know. The e.l.f. Flawless Eyeshadow in Beautiful Browns. She doesn't look much different than she did last time, but that top shade's getting there. That's the other thing too. I'm really just trying to use my makeup so that I can get rid of, you know, that was the other reason for the challenge, is to try and get rid of all these project pans and things and like actually use them, actually have progress to show. This is the e.l.f. E113. It's a packing brush, but we're gonna use her today. I don't know if I have a decent blending brush. Uh-oh. It came apart. Whoops. And we're just gonna pack that all over the lid because, like I said, we're gonna focus on burgundy today, but it's mostly just like I said, pops of color. Accent colors, if you will. So this top shade I'm putting all over the lid. It's usually what I do. I'm surprised that this has lasted as long as it has. I'm so proud of myself for using it up though, because honestly, these are the first makeup products I've ever owned. Yep. So to be able to be like, yeah, I'm gonna pan these. I'm gonna get rid of them at some point. That's cool. I'm almost 40 though. Like I'll be 35 this year, and to still have products from my like 20s. I would say what, circa 20, I think it was about 2021 when I got these. Because I had, I didn't have my own credit card just yet. I think I was still using my mom's, and I was like paying her back. But I was like buying stuff online. Or if sites had PayPal, I would use PayPal. PayPal has really been very helpful to me since living over here, because I have more US money than I do British pounds. Trying to look for a job over here has been so difficult the last year. Some other notes on the job front. I was on Facebook the other day, and Facebook getting rid of their jobs panel, I think, has been terrible. I used to actually look on, like, a lot of places over here use Facebook to advertise. Like, Facebook is massive over here, but a lot of people also don't know how to use Facebook over here. But anyway, I digress. So I like immediately the one day a job popped up from a shop that I follow, and I like, as soon as I saw it, my heart was racing because I'm like, oh sweet, you know, a job opportunity. So I applied for it. I think I might send up a follow-up email today, but I'm also not feeling super hopeful because a lot of people shared the post and a lot of people commented on the post. So I'm like, oh great, my hopes and dreams of possibly getting a job might be dashed. So let's see, I don't have a lot of great, I could just go back into that packing pencil. I think I have two. Yeah. Do I have two E113s? Oh, I don't really see what the difference is here. Like at all, really. Maybe you can spot the difference. This is E113 and this is E123. Okay? E113, E123. I don't know about y'all, but I don't see a massive difference there. One's a little bit wider, but they're both kind of flat packing brushes to me. I'll take the E123 and I will start putting some color on my crease. I'm going to take the very bottom shade in this palette and I'm going to really try to pack it on the outer corner. This is not really great for this sort of job, but my other brushes, they be dirty. Like, they had been sitting here on my desk for like a week and I was like, they really do need cleaned. So just went ahead yesterday, took some time out of my day and just went, okay, let's clean these. You know what? That didn't do too great of a job. It's not the best brush for the job. Don't get me wrong. I would definitely prefer my e.l.f. Eyeshadow blending brush. I love that brush. This worked in a pinch, but don't recommend it. I might dip into that shade too with my finger because I recall the last time I did so with a brush, it didn't even go on my lid. So once my e.l.f. matte primer is gone, I want to try a gripping primer. I know e.l.f. makes one. I think Milk is the one that makes the biggest one. But I also don't know what my options here in Ireland are as far as like what I can buy in store and what I can find online. But I think you can find. I know Robert Welsh talks about Milk, so I think there is a way to get it over here. This brush is not doing the best job on this eye. I might have to try and blend that out with my finger or something. Oh, I have a palette to dupe. I'll just tell you what it is. I saw that palette. I can't remember whose. Oh gosh, if I remember who it is, I'll list them. I'll pop it up on the screen. I was watching their makeup or eyeshadow declutter or watching some sort of video of theirs and that popped up and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to remake this palette because one, it's Ireland, so I mean at this point it's just a given. Oh, I really gotta blend that out more. But I just loved the color story. I was like, this screams St. Patty's Day, which my husband and I have been every year going to just anywhere, right? The last 2 years we went to Bundoran, but we talked about going somewhere else this year. We're not sure yet though. I like Bundoran because there's a beach. He likes Bundoran because it's the real Ireland. Oh, that looks fine, I guess. I will put a little bit of a shimmer shade on top of my brow bone just to also counteract that horrible blending that I just did. But as far as shadows go, I think that's done. Oh, under my eyes, of course. I'm going to take my AOA Studio 112, and this is a thicker pencil brush. It's kind of the sister to my other pencil brush, but she's big. She's really thick. And then I'll take my finger and just pat that sort of bronzy shade. Oh gosh, that's really a lot. But we were talking about it and we were like, well, we could go to Bundoran or we could see what else is going on. So we're still up in the air yet. We still have a couple of weeks to decide because we've been to Bundoran the last 3 St. Patty's Days, I think. Has it been 3? I can't remember. And I'm like, you know, it's fine. You know, it's convenient enough to find parking and just walk around the town. And there's also like a parade, but there's not really much else to do after that. And I think this year I will drive because that will give my husband a chance to drink a little bit and actually enjoy himself, because I find that getting older, I just don't really care to drink anymore. So taking my ring finger, and it's clean, I'm gonna just gently rub in. Oh my. Yikes. Maybe spread that between 2 fingers and then try and pop it into the middle here. That's not too bad. This is not my favorite, actually. Actually though, that would be good for just a one shadow look actually. Oh, why did I never think of that? I really need to get into one shadow looks too. I think is it Lauren May Beauty? She did like a whole video of One Shadow Looks, like her favorite products for that sort of job. And I was like, I need to do that more. Like, why do I need to do 5 shadow looks when I could do just one? And then just go about my, that's actually not bad. I'm actually surprised. That's pretty. I'm gonna take this massive fan brush. It's the AOA Studio F11. And whatever fallout we have, if we have any, just flick it off to the side. There we go. That's fun. So now that our eyes are done, well, not entirely, but I'm gonna wait until I do my highlighter to do my brow bone and my inner corner, so that I just do all that in one go. I'm gonna take my Made Up bronzer palette, which if you're new here, I just use whatever I've got and whatever brush I have in here. I think I'll just use this one. Okay, this is my AOA Studio F13. Normally I would use a different brush, but I'm using my F13 today. I'm just really getting in there. So yes, if you're new to my channel, hello, hi. I use whatever I have on hand. So I have an entire palette of depotted everything, and one day I was feeling a little frisky and thought, you know what, instead of trying to dip into a bunch of bronzers that I have from depotted e.l.f. palettes, why don't I just go ahead and mix them all together in a used up compact, and I have actually been loving it. I like this brush. It's giving like a nice diffused look. I feel like with my other brush that I use, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll pop it down below. I feel like that often gives me like very targeted, very sharp lines, and sometimes I like that. But this is actually really nice, like a nice sort of diffused moment here. I can't also really see. What if I'm just putting all this on and it looks terrible and then I won't really know until I put my glasses back on? That's a fun challenge, isn't it? Trying to film doing your makeup, but also like trying not to look like a crazy person. It is very soft though, whereas when I put it on with that angled sort of brush, it's definitely more sharp. But you know what? I do like this. I might have to add this to the rotation. I'm gonna put my glasses on for a second though, just to make doubly sure that I actually like that and that I'm not just kidding myself. That's not bad. I like that. See, I need something to help me with my forehead creases, at least as far as like a priming product or something, because I don't like that whenever the product starts getting into my lines, because I'm a very expressive person. Now for blush, I'm just going to use the AOA Studio F14. It's just your regular old blush brush, your good old standard angled blush brush. Actually, I don't need to use this because I'm using a cream. I could. I've never actually applied this with a brush before, but why not try it? Alright, so this is my Amuse stick. I'm just gonna put it on here. I normally put it on with my fingers, but why don't we try it this way, just to see? Because like I mentioned before, we're doing a burgundy pop of color today, and I'm kind of mad at myself. I left my burgundy sweater at home at my mom's house in the States, so because I'm like, it doesn't really fit me right now, but it sort of does. Ooh, that actually applied really, really well. I think I read on the AOA Studio website that this can be used with creams, so, but wow, this, I probably put a little bit more on than I actually needed. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of blending here. But no, that's pretty. And I am not a blush on the cheeks kind of girl. I'm a blush on my cheekbones kind of girl, so I don't really like to put it on my apples anymore. I used to, but I felt like that really aged the crap out of me. And plus, I just feel like it just looks better on my face and my bone structure to have my blush up more. But I am going to take my beauty blender and just blend it out. Ooh, whatever's left on here. Anything left on the stipple brush? Can I just move that blush back over? Get her over there. No, not terrible. The application was very good. I like that. I may have to do that more. Keep my hands clean. Very cute. I like that a lot, actually. So for my highlighter, I've got my Sofx palette from Revolution. I'm just gonna pop that open. Normally, I'm pretty sure I use this brush when I'm at the gym for highlight. I'm just gonna clean it off as best as I can because we did use it for concealer. Do I have another brush though? I don't think so. Oh, no, wait. I have this Wet n Wild brush. It's very small, but I don't really know where I wanna go. I might do a combination. Let's do this color and this color. Oh, so I never like actually explained a little bit more about the press-on nails, but I do want to try my best at doing some press-on nails. I'm gonna do them for myself first, and then if I find it's something that I like to do, I might turn it into a business, add it to my roster, my repertoire, because I might even go into that white shade for my inner corner and the brow bone. But I don't know. I've been watching a lot of press-on nail videos, and I'm just like business ones, and I'm just thinking I have all this nail polish and gel polish, and I'm like, I could do something. So that has been my plan. I bought a whole bunch of nail tips and just waiting for them to arrive, and then I will try something. I might only just do creme and some like easy nail art to start, but just for myself, like I said. But that's what I'm thinking, because I just have a lot to use up, and I'm like, no one person can use all this nail polish. I don't know how nail polish influencers live. That would drive me insane to have that much nail polish on a wall or something and not know what to do with it. I think that looks fine. I think we're looking okay. Oh, but I need a little bit more highlight. I didn't highlight my usual places. I just did my cheekbones. Usually go up here. Also, this brush is like just too small for this job. I usually like to go down here too, and the tip of my nose. Now we're gonna go into my homunculus powder. Again, if you're new here, my homunculus powder has a bunch of different powders that I've had over time, all in this old e.l.f. powder container. And there's e.l.f. powders in here. There's like also, I mean, at this point, who really knows how much of each powder's in this? Yeah, there's a lot going on in here, but it does cover pretty well. It's tinted, so I might even put some down here, because I'm noticing, because of that BB cream, I've got that sort of orange, that sort of Oompa Loompa thing going on. But I especially like to make sure that I'm not going over spots where I have blush and stuff on, because I don't want to get rid of that color. But I could always go back over it, I suppose so. But just trying to target those spots where I need maybe a little extra oomph. I would love to try pink powder. I know a lot of people are making their own with a translucent powder and some blush, and I could also do that because I still have an e.l.f. HD powder in the back, and I also have some pink blushes, like a matte pink blush from e.l.f. that I could potentially use. Okay, I want to go on this inner part here. I'm gonna try. I have a triangle brush, but I actually don't know where it is. But I'll use a different brush in a second here. I'm gonna use my AOA Studio F20 just to sweep away some of this excess, and then getting a more targeted brush. Maybe we'll just go back into this one that I use for highlight. And then I'm just gonna dip into there, tap off, and press it into this inner corner area. Because there is e.l.f. eye brightener in this mix, and plus I just feel like I need a little extra coverage there, because I'm noticing those darker circles. I didn't sleep very well last night. My lower back was too tight last night, and it didn't matter what position I was in, I could just feel the tightness in my lower back, and I think I attribute that to not going to the gym at all last week. Okay, that looks miles better in my opinion. I don't know if it looks really great on camera right now because I can't see, but yeah, like I said, I have a triangle brush somewhere. I just don't know where it is. I have two of them. I have a smaller one and I have a bigger one, but I don't know where I put them. I am going to go and just dip back in with the powder puff and just maybe go on my neck a little bit more. That sounded funny. And drag it down. Oh no. There's something in here that's tinted and it's driving me nuts, because maybe I should have wore a different shirt today. Because it's a very stark contrast between my neck and my face. I remember I was in a play once and I had to do that because the shirt that I was wearing for the play was a shirt like this, but black. And I had to cover my neck a little bit more because, one, stage makeup is usually thick and heavy, and you need to make sure that you're covered so that you're not washed out in the stage lights. But also, when I get nervous or like distressed or anything, I get a heat rash. So I wanted to make sure that my heat rash wasn't showing on stage. Speaking of stage, I don't know, but there is potential. I don't, like I said, I don't really know. There is potential that I might be able to join a theater group at some point this year, but I don't know. I don't know the details. I was on Facebook and I commented on the Facebook page saying something about auditioning, and they said just keep a lookout, and I was like, oh, that would be so sweet. Okay, face is almost done. We've got our e.l.f. blotting mist to do. I use it as a setting powder, even though it's not really a setting powder. Oh, I cannot wait to get rid of this. It's so bad. It goes on so gloopy because there's kaolin clay in it, and like it doesn't really go through the spray bottle. You're just left with like a big mess. The droplets are huge, so it's not a very nice, good stream. But I am glad that I have my hard candy spray to fall back on after this is done. Alright, that's our face. Let me just double check with my glasses on that I don't look like a clown. I mean, I look like myself. I'm not the biggest fan of the foundation, but you can't really tell. But I can definitely tell that my face looks slightly darker than my neck, and I got so much texture because I don't have a brush that can like really buff. Do you know what I mean? Like makeup sponges only do so much. I've really been enjoying applying my foundation step with a brush lately because I just feel like it blends out so much better. Well, we gotta finish off the eyes, don't we? So, oh, and the eyebrows. I'm gonna go in with my NYX eyeliner in brown, and that's how much we have. We don't have very much at all. I will repurchase this probably at some point, or some other brown liner. But I do like this because it doesn't transfer. It is waterproof. This is really hard to do whenever I wear contacts because I have astigmatism and I can feel my contact lens moving across my eye when I do my eyeliner. I don't think I want to do liner today, so no liner. I will do my brows though with my Build-A-Brow. So I'll try my very best. I've been trying to hold it at the very, very end and just lightly flick. And try not to go too ham. And that's about it. I'm just trying to build those hairs that I don't have and leave it. How long do these last, by the way? Because mine is still relatively new and it is the wrong shade for me. I am desperate to get like an ash brown color because this dark brown is she's a bit too dark. Taking my gross, disgusting brow pomade. I am going to use... Do I have both of the same? I do. I have two AOA Studio E116s for some reason. One looks a little bit more nicer than the other, but I'm going to use the less nice one for my brows. I think it's an eyeliner brush. The other one that I have is an actual brow brush, but since it's not clean, it is clean now, but since it's, you know, still drying, I want to make sure they're completely dry before I put them back in there. Makeup case. I'm just gonna go through my brows here real quick. That's not too bad. And I have a spoolie brush here. This is the E119 spoolie brush from AOA Studio. Much nicer looking than my old e.l.f. one, and we'll just comb through. So originally this video was gonna be about the roulette, but since I didn't do it enough and I don't have any footage of me actually spinning the roulette wheel, I obviously just made this a different video, just trying to fall back in love with makeup because it has been so difficult for me to just enjoy the process. But the last couple of, well, except for last week, when I did start wearing makeup a little bit more regularly that one week, I did enjoy myself. I genuinely loved putting makeup on every day, and it was like just a nice little, it was me time. Just time for myself that I could gussy myself up, and I loved it. So we're gonna do our mascara. I'm gonna do my bottom lashes first, and then I'm gonna apply my AOA Studio liquid lipstick, and then I'll do my top lashes. I remember not liking this. I do like it better than Lash Princess. It's fine, but I'm gonna let those lower lashes dry a little bit, and we're gonna try and put on my AOA Studio liquid lipstick in Digital, which is a metallic liquid lip. I think I might line my lip. I'm not gonna use Natural blush. Like, I can't even make it up. It says Natural. I will instead use the Mauve Lux, which is, oh, taped together apparently. I didn't even realize it still had tape on it. I taped a bunch of my things whenever I moved so that nothing fell apart in transit. So, lining the lips. I remember this not being the best lip liner in the world. And it will go with the other color enough that I'm not that worried about it. I'm just going to blur a little bit. Looks good. And now, we'll stick this on. It still smells good. It's like a fruity sort of, it's like a fruity candy sort of scent. But just stop there. Go for a little Kim Possible look. I never watched Kim Possible. Is it good? I was an anime or bust sort of girl growing up. How's it look? The only thing I hate about like a dark color on the lips is the butthole. Other than that, I love these products specifically. They are a longer lasting formula, so once they dry down completely, you won't really have any issue with them unless you drink something and then the transfer from the part that's not dry inside of your mouth kind of transfers. But other than that, nope, I like them a lot. I'm kind of glad I got a bunch of them, but at the same time, I wish I hadn't. So top mascara, we need to curl. I also like that this adjusts. I find that so helpful when I do my top mascara. The other thing I've been getting into to finish off my looks, and because I don't really know how to do my hair and my hair's a weird length, is wearing some barrettes in my hair to keep my hair out of my face. I've been really enjoying that. There's one in particular that I wear a lot that curves. It's like a curved one, and it just, you'll see it whenever I actually do my hair, but I really like it a lot. I'm just gonna move this over here for a second. All right, we got our mascara on finally, and you know, even with my glasses off, this still looks nice. I'm still not amazed by this mascara. Is it nice? It's fine. It's fine. But it doesn't really, I just don't see it going pow, you know, I don't see it doing much for me. I'm going to go ahead and finish off the look, put my hair down, and I'll come right back. See, isn't that cute? It came from the Rainforest store, if you know. It came in a pack of, like, if I can find the original listing, I'll pop it here or something similar, but it came in a whole pack and there was like a whole bunch of different ones. But I don't know, I've been really enjoying the simplicity of this one, and plus it stays in my hair and it looks cute. I like it. But yeah, that's everything for me. I think our look looks nice. I have been enjoying doing the roulette challenge. I will try to do a couple more. I might do more shorter videos to put into a whole roulette video, do you know what I mean? Just to show you guys what I'm actually talking about, and also just to showcase that makeup can be fun. And all we have to do is just play around, because that's all makeup really is. It's just playing around, slapping different kinds of stuff on your face and looking different ways, and I love it. I would love to try a catfish video at some point. I don't really know how that's going to work, but if you have any sort of recommendations, leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear your ideas for content, because sometimes I really don't know what to put on this channel, because your girl is just trying to use up what she has. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to leave a thumbs up. I would totally appreciate it. And if you're feeling a little frisky, go ahead and subscribe. Love to have you here. And until next time, guys, bye. And then I also, for another just pop of color, I have this Amuse Lip and Chick